First of all, thank you so much for, oh my God. This is a great reminder. Please turn off your phone. I just made the best example of the world, my goodness. Please turn off your phone or silence your phone during the concert. It's greatly appreciate your cooperation. I'm sure you don't want to be like me. So thank you so much for coming out at this raining afternoon, windy and raining. I don't know how to express my gratitude for all of you sitting here. This is a solely self-sponsored concert series. And I want to thank Sauk Talk Congregational Church, past and present, because they support my crazy idea to do concerts without any existing funding at hand. So I thank you all my people who helped me. There's on the top, there's Mr. Mark Matthias and Stefan Beyer. They are doing a live stream, the concert. And I also want to thank Bruce Bonner for promoting the concert. I want to thank Leslie Hand, went to many places to print out and post the flyers and the emails. I want to thank Lisa Tantillo to make the program in your hands. Last, I want to thank Mr. Alex Beyer. We actually don't know each other. I came on the idea before the summer starts, and then I kind of knew about this wonderful young man, and then I thought, let me just write him an email and see what I will get. I don't know what I will get. So I sent out the email and invite him, say, would you please come up and play a recital? And I wait, and all of a sudden, one day I was overseas. I checked my email, and I saw the reply. And he greatly accepted my invitation. And he just drove up from Virginia this Friday. And he needs to drive back right after this. So we need to let him go by 6 p.m. because he needs to drive back there tonight. 6 p.m., yes. So Sauk Talk really appreciate your continuing support. The donations, every penny we use in the future concert series. If you are available, you are welcome back October 22nd. Myself and my colleague, Dr. Hui-Mei Lin, are going to play a piano four-hand recital right down here, Sunday, 3 p.m. So please come back. Now, I just want to give the time to Mr. Alex Beyer. Let's welcome him to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you. It's really great to be here, and I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank Dr. Chang for putting this all on. She's running around everywhere, and I know how much of a hassle it is to put concerts together, and it's you know, I sort of just get it to come here and share the joy of music, so I feel very lucky. I want to thank my mom for being my host while I'm in town for the weekend. Always good to get a chance to see her. Yeah, my mom. I think a lot of you know her. I want to thank Yoshi Akimoto. I believe she's here, and I haven't seen her forever. Where is she? Hi. My teacher from Wilton. So yeah, it's kind of wild being here. I joined the Navy in 2018. Went to flight school. Kind of had this vague ambition to just jump into that world and kind of see what adventure would come of it. So went to flight school, tried really hard, second in my class, and the Navy says, hey, you're not going to fly the Tom Cruise thing. You're going to fly, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, the E-2 Hawkeye. It's got 2 propellers, and it's got the big radar dome. Encourage you to look it up later. Obviously a disappointment, right? But it's an incredible community, and the stuff that we do, we still land on the aircraft carrier, do all the cool stuff, and it's been really fun. But the reason I bring it up is it's given me a little bit more time, sort of a little bit of downtime when I'm not deployed, to do stuff with my free time. And one of those things, I'm stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, and there is a chamber music series at the Chrysler Museum of Art in Norfolk. Not sure if any of you are familiar with it, but pretty well-known art museum. I went to their concerts, kind of got to know the manager of the series, and it turns out he was a retired captain in the Navy who also loved music. And so I sort of hitched my wagon, or hitched to his wagon, and he said, if you'd want to do a summer series of concerts, it'd be a great way to sort of keep the energy around the series. You can do whatever music you want, and I'm thinking, I get to play this 9-foot Steinway in a beautiful museum, and so that's kind of how I've come back into the music world, and it's been really fun. So when Dr. Chang reached out and asked if I could play, I was very happily saying yes to that. So it's a great joy to be here, and I'm really excited about the program today. So I will just say a couple of words about each piece. I don't want to funnel you too much in one direction, but I will tell you what I think might be exciting to listen for. So I'm going to start with 4 selections from Mendelssohn's Songs Without Words. These are pieces that have been really near and dear to my heart for a long time. However, never came to really question, what is a song without words, right? And in fact, it reflects sort of a philosophical sort of idea of Mendelssohn, that he didn't think that the art song, which was sort of coming into popularity with Schubert, namely in the 1830s, was really his kind of thing. He was much more about creating instrumental music. He was surrounded by instruments from his youth and really did not write any vocal music. So these are very lyrical pieces. They reflect a lot of different sides of him. I will give you the nicknames for 3 of them. So the first one is unnamed. The second is nicknamed the Hunting Song, and you'll kind of hear that. The third is a Venetian boat song. You kind of hear this lilting melody, and then the last is a spinning song. It's sort of like a spinning top. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you for being here, and yeah, we'll get Thank you. Those are fun to play. I'll just say one word about the Schubert. So at the same time that Mendelssohn, sort of hearkening back to Bach, especially, and sort of looking in that direction, Schubert is taking a very different approach, both a lot of vocal music, very lyrical music, but also sort of really moving the classical period into the Romantic era. And one thing I want to highlight that he does in this impromptu is just a very simple relationship between major and minor, which is such a staple of the classical form in very different ways. But what Schubert does is he makes those very simple harmonic changes into something that's very emotional and sort of romantically based. So hope you enjoy this Schubert impromptu. Thank you. Thank you. I will move to some Chopin. So, really, Mendelssohn, and this is an interesting historical event, but Mendelssohn was responsible for this really big revitalization of Bach's music in the 1830s. But at the same time, a little later, Chopin wrote his preludes, and this is a set of 24 preludes, sort of modeled after the well-tempered clavier of Bach, preludes and fugues. Very similar sort of cyclical progression through keys, obviously with a very romantic feeling. And so I'll play the first 8 of these preludes. They're very sort of imaginary. They're very visual. So I encourage you to sort of imagine visually when you hear these first 8 preludes of Chopin. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you that know me, and you all know I'm a big fan of Rachmaninoff, so of course there had to be some of his music. Do we have any Sikorsky employees here? I know that's often the case. Okay, we do. We have at least one. So this is sort of the lore of Stratford, but I understand the story as Sikorsky really struggled very early on. He was building fixed-wing aircraft, but it was kind of struggling to get off the ground with his business. Still had the sort of engineering going on a farm. And one day the story goes that this limo pulls up to the farm, and out steps a very tall, well-dressed, handsome Rachmaninoff, who had moved recently from Russia to the United States. Writes a check for, I believe, $5,000 at the time, a huge sum. Goes on to be honorary VP of Sikorsky. And where do I fit into the story? My grandfather, who some of you might know, worked there his whole life, and that's sort of one of the reasons my family's in the area. Additionally, they build all the helicopters for the Navy, so it's just a funny little point of connection with Sikorsky and Rachmaninoff, two recent Russian immigrants post-revolution. I'm going to play two preludes from the set Opus 32. And the thing I would say to listen to is bells, in both pieces in very different ways, just the kind of sound works and the ways that he is able to sort of create incredible effects out of the piano. So I hope you enjoy two preludes. Next is a fun set of pieces that I'm sure some of you have heard before. It's the Bartók 5 dances, Romanian dances. Interesting historical context to these ones as well. So Brahms and Liszt wrote a lot of music in the sort of Hungarian trope, and they sort of used it to their own devices for, final movements, sort of, gypsy ballads and all of this stuff. And so two composers come across in the early 20th century, Béla Bartók and Zoltán Kodály, and they sort of say, hey, this is really a misrepresentation of what Hungarian music is. So Bartók, for one, went out to sort of deep into what was then Transylvania, sort of changing hands between Hungary and Romania. But he took a bunch of field recordings of songs and dance. And so you can actually find these on YouTube. They're recordings that still live today. They're very interesting to listen to, early sort of recording quality, but really interesting songs. And so he sort of took this as inspiration. These are 5 really fun and colorful dances. I hope you enjoy. Thank you. So I'm really excited to share this last piece I've got for you on the program. It is the third sonata of Prokofiev. Traditionally, sonata form coming in 3 or 4 movements. However, I think you'll find Prokofiev packs about 8 movements into one in this piece. So really, I think things to look out for. It's really sort of a ballet for the piano. It's extremely fun to play. And again, you'll see sort of similar to Rachmaninoff, the full effect possible of this instrument. So I want to thank you all again for coming, and yeah, excited to share the Prokofiev with you. I don't know if the piano can handle it, but I am going to do one more of Rachmaninoff, just another prelude. Hope you enjoy.
I want to thank Mr. Beyer to give us such a human and artistic afternoon. We can have 20 minutes question and answer time. If you would like, you could stay a bit longer, and there will be a short masterclass follow-up. Sorry, this concert, we don't have intermission. I thought, oh, I forgot to remind the audience. So we can have Mr. Beyer come out, and then anyone, if you have questions, please raise your hand. We have second microphone so for you, so everyone can hear the questions. Thank you. Okay, so we do have questions. Wait.
Oh, great. All right. Yeah.
Let me ask a personal
Great.
question. You are really world class.
Wonderful.
Oh, hi. How are you? Good to see you.
Oh, nice to see you. I follow you. You're still there and doing it all. Good.
I am fascinated with your achievements during the age. How do you manage to, you got to play every day. And then are you going to wind up in music or are you going to wind up with data science and everything else?
Hi. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank
Good
you,
to see
Alex.
you. How are you doing? Thank you. You too.
I'm glad you can still play.
Yeah. It's good to do. Thank you. Yeah,
Those giant things.
No, I think. I mean, I'm always going to play music in some capacity.
You have to.
Yeah. So I think whether it's professionally, I don't know, but yeah, it'll be always something that's kind of there. But I think